Hello world, it's not often the FBI launches offensive hacking campaigns targeting cybercriminals, but in the past week they've done just that. This is the story of how one of the world's most notorious ransomware gangs, rEvil, was pwned by the feds. In response, rival cybercriminal gangs have called on black hats to unite against the US and collectively target American critical infrastructure. Dare I say, begun the ransomware wars have? For a quick backstory on rEvil, in Q1 this year they accounted for 4.6% of all ransomware attacks. Some of their biggest hits include stealing MacBook schematics from a Taiwanese manufacturer, hacking JBS, the world's largest meat supplier, and of course the Kaseya ransomware attack, in which remote management software used by thousands of organizations was compromised, leading to an unprecedented situation in which, according to rEvil's own numbers, 1 million computers were held to ransom. That's one way to get the attention of the FBI, who themselves mysteriously managed to get a hold of a set of decryption keys for all of the computers infected during the Kaseya ransomware attack. Though this came a little too late, the keys were made available to companies weeks after the initial hack, when most had taken alternative measures like restoring from backups, rebuilding their systems, or in some cases even paying the ransom. We now know that the FBI had in fact refrained from publishing the keys for almost 3 weeks after procuring them, sacrificing the victims so as to not tip rEvil off to their grand plan, which we'll get to shortly. In the wake of the enormous Kaseya hack, rEvil vanished, the reasons for which were unclear. Maybe there was some internal feud between gang members, or perhaps given the attention they had brought upon themselves, they had deemed their business too risky and so cashed out and retired. Fast forward a couple of months, and rEvil resurrected themselves. The blog on which they post details of their victims mysteriously came back online. Having tarnished their reputation by disappearing, the gang was desperate to seduce potential ransomware affiliates to spread their malware, offering unusually high commissions of 90% to attract affiliates. Usually only 70 to 80% is offered. However, rEvil made one fatal flaw on their return. They restored from backups which had been compromised by the FBI in their earlier operation. In doing so, the FBI was in control of some of rEvil's infrastructure. Ironically, the gang's own tactic of attacking backups had been used against them. rEvil will have known their systems had become public enemy number 1 after the Kaseya hack. For them to resurrect the same systems that had been under so much scrutiny was a big mistake. Once one rEvil member realized they had been compromised, he posted some confused messages on the XSS cybercrime forum, guessing that a disgruntled rEvil member, previously thought to be dead, was somehow behind the hack. This was the working theory until Reuters posted an article exposing how the FBI, in conjunction with Cyber Command, the Secret Service and like-minded countries, have truly engaged in significant disruptive actions against these groups, as explained by an advisor to the US Secret Service. This all comes just a few months after it was announced that the US was to give combating ransomware attacks a similar priority to fighting terrorism, creating a new centrally coordinated task force to address the cybercrime scourge. Frustratingly, and unsurprisingly I suppose, the FBI isn't spilling any beans on how the operation against rEvil was carried out. The only nugget we have on that thread is a Reuters source claiming a foreign partner of the US government carried out the hacking operation that penetrated rEvil's computer architecture. Though, given the shroud of secrecy here, no doubt this is an ongoing operation, other than successfully knocking rEvil offline again, there seems to be no other direct consequences of the operation. However, these events are most certainly causing a stir in the underground cybercriminal community. Fearing they may be next, other ransomware gangs have reacted. In particular, the Darkside and Black Matter gangs have been moving large chunks of their Bitcoin in a possible sign they may be looking to cash out. Approximately $6.8 million worth has been shifted thus far. Some gangs have even threatened reprisals against the US for this operation. The Groove Ransomware Gang has posted some strong words on their dark website. It reads, "In our difficult and troubled time when the US government is trying to fight us, I call on all partner programs to stop competing, unite and start effing up the US public sector." You can pause the video and read it in full if you like. They essentially propose that fellow ransomware gangs band together and target US public sector organizations, be that hospitals, law enforcement or infrastructure. We'll have to see. I can't help but feel this is just one guy throwing a tantrum and nothing will come of it. But if I'm wrong, begun the ransomware wars have. This video is sponsored by Linode, who are giving you $100 worth of free cloud computing. Linode is a totally customizable cloud hosting platform. Whether you're looking to quickly spin up a VPN, website, or host a Kubernetes cluster, Linode has you covered. If it runs on Linux, it'll run on Linode. Linode just announced availability of their NVMe block storage, the first alternative cloud provider to officially support this state-of-the-art hardware at no extra cost to their customers. Linode's philosophy is to focus on providing all the tools a developer really needs at competitive prices. Use the link in the description now to claim your free $100. If you enjoy this kind of video, make sure to help me out by tickling the like button for the YouTube AI, as well as turning on those sub notifications. If you want to see what goes on behind the scenes, make sure to follow me on the Instagrams. I'm at Jonty. I will of course link it in the description. And if you're looking for something to watch next, go check out my previous video on how the US has implemented new rules restricting the export of hacking tools. As always, sources will be linked in the video description. Stay tuned for more hacking videos and have a good one.